Alright guys, so really quick video for you all today. I'm going to be showing you the most optimal settings for Phantom Forces. These settings will help you get a competitive edge on your enemies, as well as, just helping you with your performance and your FPS and stuff like that. So I'm not even going to delay, just get right into this. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to get is the Roblox FPS Unlocker. So if you didn't know, Roblox is hard capped at 60 FPS for everybody, so even if you have a really beastly computer, it's only going to run at 60 FPS. I don't know why Roblox does that, it's really stupid. But as you can see right now, I'm at 144 FPS currently. But if I turn off my FPS Unlocker, which you guys can't see right now. Alright, so I turned it off, and as you can see, it's sitting at 60 FPS, which is not what I want, because I want to get that sweet, smooth 144 FPS that my computer is capable of. This isn't something that's gonna increase your FPS at all, or it's not gonna increase the performance of your game. It's just going to allow your computer to use all of its resources that it can on Roblox, and basically it will uncap the FPS. Alright, so the next thing we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to take a look at your in-game, just regular Roblox settings that you're gonna want to change. So I have my graphics settings set to 4. You really don't need to set them any higher than this, unless you just like the visuals. But this allows the game to just become really simple looking. It's very easy to see your targets. There's not really any shaders or shadows that you have to deal with that can get in the way of any gunfights or whatever. Also, it just allows for better performance overall, like higher FPS. And I find that 4 is sort of the sweet spot. Any lower than this, and buildings are going to start disappearing in the distance that you might want to actually be seeing. Obviously, you're still going to see buildings disappear off in the distance, but the distance is too far, and most of these buildings that are popping in and out of existence are out of the map. So I find that 4 is really the lowest you can go without impacting the gameplay too much. Not really going to go over sensitivity, as that is just purely preference, but if you want to know what my sensitivity is, this is my camera sensitivity in Roblox, and then in PF settings here, this is my settings right there, and then my mouse DPI is 400. Now for the in-game PF settings, you just click the settings button right there, and the first thing you want to do is obviously change your sensitivity to what you like, but the most important thing is the field of view slider right here. I think the default field of view, or FOV, is 80, and this is just not good at all. This is not the kind of field of view you want if you want to actually do well in this game. You can't really see anything around you. I prefer 107, although I can go all the way to 120, which looks like this, and as you can see a lot more around you, and you have a much better peripheral vision, and you don't really it doesn't seem like you're looking through a small microscope anymore, and it's just a lot easier to see your surroundings. But I don't use 120, as I find everything to be way too zoomed out, and I'm just so used to 107 because that's what I've been using for a long time. Also, if you didn't know, you can actually glitch out the FOV slider here. If you set it to 120 and then just click 1 and then enter, look at that, you get 124. But yeah, if you just press 1 and then press enter, it'll set it to 124. And then I think if you leave the game, come back and do it again, it'll go even higher. And I think you can get as high as 148 or something like that, but I don't really like going that high. I just like to keep it at 107. Alright, so these next ones are pretty important. So you're going to want to disable blood. You really don't need it. Sure, it maybe adds a little bit of realism to the game, but it can be distracting, and it's just unnecessary stuff in the game that you don't need. Next thing is Roblox particles. You want to disable that. Shaders, you also want to disable. This is just for performance reasons. If your computer is capable of insane performance, then I guess you can leave this stuff on, but this is just what I'm recommending. Definitely want to disable the impact sparks here, because it's just distracting and unneeded. Bullet holes, I just keep them enabled. They're honestly kind of useful, actually, if you want to see what your recoil looks like if you're just shooting at a wall. Bullet casings, definitely turn these off. These will cause performance issues that you just don't need, especially if you're using something like the HK21. Here, I'll use this as an example. And if you turn on the bullet casings, all right, so you see like the game's just starting, I'm not shooting, and my FPS is at 144 because I've locked it at 144. My computer can go a bit higher than that, but it'll just kind of fluctuate and it kind of causes stuttering, so I just keep it at 144. But yeah, we're sitting at 144 FPS, and you can see when I start to shoot, the FPS starts to go down. And that's because of these stupid casings here. You do not want these enabled. Definitely disable this. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and disable that. Day cycle is an interesting one. So, what you want to do is wait for it to become daytime in any server. I mean, it already is right now, but just wait for it to become daytime in any server. And then you want to disable the day cycle. Basically what that does is it just pauses the day and night cycle so that it's always daytime. Or if you prefer it to be nighttime, then just doing it during the night. Global shadows, I would definitely get rid of this. This is just unnecessary stuff that's gonna, you know, help your enemies mask themselves. You know, it does make the game look a little weird and like less polished, but it really just simplifies the look of the game and makes it easier to see people, and also it helps with performance. And then the last thing, this is very important, turn off spawn ragdolls. This is basically just dead bodies. So when you kill people, instead of, you know, them falling over or something, they will just simply disappear. Now, why would you want this? Well, obviously you're going to get a little bit better performance, but also it's not going to be obscuring your vision. The dead bodies can just be kind of distracting. You can see there, he's just gone. The dead bodies can be kind of distracting, and also a lot of noobs will tend to hide in dead bodies. And that can be really annoying because, you know, you can't even see them. But if you turn off the dead bodies, they'll just be laying down in plain sight, and they'll just be a free kill for you. A lot of people tend to not really like turning off dead bodies because they can't tell if someone's been killed or not. Just take a look at your minimap. If an enemy player has died, it will be signified as a red X on your minimap. I'll try to... Yeah, you see that right there. Alright, so that's basically the video. If this helped you out, leave a like, and if you want to see more content from me, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.